spill showdown. Tensions rise at a town meeting called to discuss the Rubis oil spill.
Contracted innovations, major healthcare improvements underway.
As Resorts World expands in Las Vegas, it also signals good news for Bimini and the Bahamas. I'm Clint Watson. I'll tell you how they made the connection coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
A multi-billion-dollar deal groundbreaking ceremony taking place in Las Vegas today that will significantly impact the Bahamas. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. The Genting Group, operators of Resorts World Bimini, broke ground for a new hotel in the Las Vegas Strip. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie was there for the ceremony, where he noted that the opening of this new facility will have tremendous benefits for the Bahamas. Clint Watson reports from Las Vegas tonight that the chairman of the Genting Group also revealed increased investment opportunities for the island of Bimini.
Resorts World, owned and operated by the Malaysian company Genting, continues to prove it has a successful model in resort creation and big bucks. The company has now broken ground for a $4.5 billion mega resort set to transform the northern strip of Las Vegas, which to this day is struggling to recover from the 2008 global recession. Chairman of Genting, Katie Lim, is confident they have what it takes.
We're certainly very confident of that, and we are excited. The construction phase will take 3 years. After a long time in terms of planning in detail to the extent of what market we want to address. So we are very confident that it will bring a lot of benefits to this part of Las Vegas Boulevard.
And while they expect this market to significantly impact Bimini once their presence is established, they're also looking towards now increasing their investment in Bimini. In fact, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says it was the underlying factor for his visit to Las Vegas.
The chairman and I had discussions that he's in the middle of sort of thinking through. He really believes he will be talking to us in the very near future. About further expansion in Bimini and about really consolidating his investment and enhancing it, and so I'll leave it at that, and the time will come when you will learn more about it, and I'm excited about it because it really means that we have institutionalized sustainable development in Bimini, and people will have a great future in Bimini, and we know that is no promise, it's happening, and I'm very excited about it. And what he has told me this evening, more and better to come.
What we are doing in Vegas, to a smaller extent, we hope that we could establish the same for Bimini, but to a greater extent, because I personally feel that the potential that Bimini holds can be unleashed for the benefit of the overall economy of the Bahamas.
The mega project is expected to account for 8,500 direct jobs and 3,300 indirect jobs. The development is projected to generate $155 million in annual tax revenue. Now, the Prime Minister has not predicted yet when we can expect to hear what this new announcement for increased investment will be. However, he anticipates it will be happening pretty soon. In Las Vegas, Nevada, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Tensions rose at a town meeting hosted by a local advocacy group demanding answers from the government over its handling of the fuel spill that took place over at the then Texaco service station on Robinson Road more than 2 years ago. C.S. Gadley brings us more from this heated debate.
Angry residents of the Marathon constituency packed Grace Community Church's hall, seeking answers as to how officials plan to clean up the mess left behind in the wake of the major fuel spill which took place in late 2012. Concerns voiced by the residents of Highbury Park, Regency Park, and Palmetto Village was a central focus of the meeting that almost got out of hand.
For the last 3 years, I had some good crops, good mangoes in the yard. And I know that those mangoes need water. And I know the cycle of life. And I know that that same water gets into the plant, then gets into my body and my family's body. For a year and a half, me and my family, friends, and neighbors drinking, living in the area. You got to be joking.
Why is it that the government seems to be so delayed in its response, even though it has documentary and historical examples in terms of telling it how to deal with the situation?
What higher standards have been put in place for the Rubis on Robinson Road to operate by?
To ease the tensions of the residents, government officials shared a few of the recommendations announced in a press conference Monday afternoon.
We will continue testing and monitoring the situation for the next several years, proactively updating your community through biannual reports and more frequently as may be required.
Those households that were directly impacted and the safety of the surrounding community remain my utmost concern, and I am here to assure you, as the minister said, that as the evidence and the research and science now shows, there is no present danger.
While government maintains that the situation is under control, some experts claim that the danger of this spill still looms.
Right now, in the ground, there are 2 mobile plumes of gasoline. What do I mean? That means that when the gasoline leaked from Rubis and was floating on the water table, it moves, and it's moving in a northeastern direction. So that means that where we're standing, northeast is coming this way.
The meeting was eventually shut down when Guardian's managing editor and co-moderator for the meeting, Candia Dames, called an end to questions. While a quick solution to this problem is the #1 priority for Marathon residents, the government maintains that aside from the delay in sharing the information on the danger, it acted quickly to get Rubis to remediate the problem. Health officials began screening on Monday and will continue to test and evaluate the area for contaminants several years after the cleanup is completed. C.S. Scatterly, ZNS Network News.
F&M Shadow Minister for the Environment, Senator Kwesi Thompson, is questioning why Rubis and government held press conferences the day of a town meeting to address the oil spill. Thompson claims government statements lacked empathy and shows a complete lack of understanding and compassion for Marathon residents. But yesterday, government officials expressed sincere regret for the delay in releasing the report that looked into its response and the remediation steps taken by the oil company following that spill. While Environment Minister Ken Dorset has said that residents are not at risk and the spill is contained, Thompson questions why officials did not advise residents at the first town hall meeting. During Monday's press conference, officials said testing in the area would continue for several years and a bill will be tabled by October 19th to enhance public safety and environmental protection.
In other news, further renovations are on the way for the Princess Margaret Hospital. Cleopatra Murphy tonight tells us that hospital officials signed a deal today with a partner to set in motion the first step to a more efficient and effective public health care facility.
Officials are taking steps to address the physical limitations at the Princess Margaret Hospital with the signing of a $395,000 contract with the Beck Group to develop a detailed master plan for the redevelopment of the hospital. Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Perry Gomez, says the hospital will be brought in line with the national healthcare policy and made to meet the increasing demands of the public.
The physical plan of this original hospital has been in constant use for over 6 decades. And while there have been expansions and refurbishments in the past, these improvements have been undertaken in an ad hoc manner that has negatively impacted the efficiency and workflow of the institution.
The Beck Group also created the master plan for the critical care block, The Texas-based company is a comprehensive builder that has been providing architecture, construction, and sustainable design for decades. The group's Bahamian-born CEO, Fred Propal, says it would be too expensive and unrealistic to build a new facility.
The infrastructure here has been tested. It's been really, burdened, and we believe we have an opportunity to think strategically for the next, year or so about how to make sure that we have a facility that would withstand the test of time.
He could not give an approximate cost for the phased modernization, but says no building is more expensive than a hospital.
We don't know the parameters of all the things we would want to replace. So I think part of it is understanding what are the most critical spaces next to replace, and then how we bring those on.
The consultation phase is expected to take at least a year, and Propal explains what it entails.
To do this planning exercise correctly, it takes us first off harnessing all of the data within the hospital. So how many patients do we see daily? What's the demand on the different spaces? How many children are being born? How many people are actually coming through the door? So we really first start off with the analytics.
The health minister says the master plan, when realized, will deliver a more efficient, modern hospital with the highest standard for Bahamian. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Coming up, police need your help in solving the country's latest killing.
Also, find out where to hit the road for Carnival. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.